Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fenway Park, a cathedral of baseball steeped in a history and tradition. This evening, the Green Monster stands sentinel over a decisive chapter in the epic tale of the 1975 World Series. The Cincinnati Reds, the Big Red Machine, lead this clash 3-2, poised to etch their name into baseball immortality. Yet, standing in their path, with the heart and soul of a city behind them, are the Boston Red Sox, desperate to force a seventh and final game on this hallowed ground. For Cincinnati, the lineup reads like a roll call of legends. Pete Rose, the man they call Charlie Hustle, whose ferocious play and unyielding drive define this team. Johnny Bench, a backstop whose bat and arm have redefined the catcher's position. And Joe Morgan, the keystone of this offensive juggernaut, a man as adept at stealing bases as he is at finding gaps. But do not discount the defiance of these Red Sox, anchored by Carlton Fisk, the rock behind the plate, Fred Lynn, the rookie sensation who has lit up the baseball world, and the indomitable Luis Tiant, who takes the hill tonight. El Tiante, as he's affectionately known, has already captivated the Fenway faithful with his quirky windup and unflappable presence. Yeah? He will be opposed by Gary Nolan, the steady hand of the Reds' rotation, tasked with silencing the thunderous Boston bats. So here we are, on a cool October night, the weight of destiny heavy in the air. It's Game 6, the World Series, and everything hangs in the balance. Will the Big Red Machine roll to glory, or will these resilient Red Sox rise, forcing us to do it all again tomorrow night? America, we are about to find out. Let's join Tony Porter for Dice Baseball Digest for the play-by-play using Deep Drive Baseball Tabletop Dice Game.
Well, thank you there, Bill. I appreciate it. Appreciate the intro. So let's get started here. We got Luis Tiant on the mound against Pete Rose. Let's go over the lineup quickly. We're using Deep Drive Baseball tonight. That's 3 D10s. It's Rose, Griffey, Morgan, Bench, Perez, and Foster. Concepcion, followed by Geronimo, and then the pitcher Gary Nolan, who does have a batting card. For the Boston Red Sox, it will be Cooper, Doyle, and Yaz, Carlton Fisk, Lynn and Petrocelli, Evans, Burleson, and the upside down Tiant card. We're playing Deep Drive Baseball, and the series started with the Red Sox winning both games at home. We went over to Cincinnati, and the Cincinnati Reds won all 3 games. They lead the series 3-2 as we go into Game 6 using Deep Drive Baseball. I will go through it and give you some tips and so forth as we play it. So let's get started. Play ball. Pete Rose at the plate. He's a switch hitter, batting lefty against the righty Tiant. And it's going to be a 21, and that's going to be ball 4. So Tiant loses Rose, and Rose gets to first base on a base on balls. All right, next up will be Ken Griffey. He bats from the left side. And let's look at Rose's stolen base. He's a parentheses 6. I don't use the jump, and you can check out my tutorial on stealing bases in Deep Drive Baseball. I don't use the jump. He's a 6. Tiant is a 0. Bench is probably a minus, or rather Fisk, I don't know what Fisk would be. He's a 0. So I'm not going to run on a 6 because you got to add 2 dice. So it's not worth it. Let's let Griffey swing away. Here's a pitch from Tiant, and that's going to be a 91, which will be an away. Tiant is at home, so it won't be a wild pitch. Now, there's another way to do this. If you don't want to take that approach and want him to either, be able to throw wild pitches when he is at home, what you can do is just roll a 1, 2, 3, it's a wild pitch, a 4, 5, 6, it isn't a wild pitch. So that's one easy way to do it with a D6. So a 1, 2, 3, it is a wild pitch, and we roll a 3, so it is a wild pitch, and going to second base is Rose. All right, so runner in scoring position. So I showed you an alternative way of doing that, and I don't even think about it. It doesn't matter to me, so I wouldn't. But I know it would bother some people. Ken Griffey, the pitch, and that's a 59 off Tiant's card, and that's going to be a base hit, and that's a plus sign. So coming around to score is Rose, and Griffey with an RBI single. And the Reds have taken a 1-0 lead just like that. And that's quieted the crowd. The crowd didn't expect the Reds to get on the board so early in the game. And Griffey is an 11. So he's going to take off. There he goes. The throw down by Fisk, and he is out. Got him at second base. So Fisk showing off the cannon. It's going to be a 2. Morgan's a lefty, so it's going to be a 2-6. Caught stealing, and that will be out number 1. Here goes. That's a 56, and that is line base hit to center field by Morgan. So Tiant has faced 3 batters, and 3 batters have reached. Morgan's another one who can steal. And he may take off as well. A 13. And there he goes. And the throw down by Fisk. And he is out. Oh, boy. Fisk is thrown out 2 and benches a righty. So that's going to go 2-4. The tag put down by Doyle. And Morgan is out. So back-to-back. Caught stealing by the catcher, Carlton Fisk. And here's Johnny Bench with 2 out. Louis Tiant gets the sign from Fisk. And here is the pitch. And that's an 86, which will be a fall within the Tiant out range with a 3. And that is a slow grounded to third base. Charged by Rose. Barehanded. Fires the first. And has plenty of time to get Bench. And that will be a G5. And that retires the side. But the Reds score here in the top of the first. And they lead it. So that was 1 run on 2 hits. They lead it by a score of 1-0 with the Red Sox coming to bat. Gary Nolan. Again, Cecil Cooper, the left-hander. It's a 27. That'll be an out. An 8 is a fly ball left field. That is, left fielder is, I believe it's Foster. And that is out number 1. And let's do that here. F7. Next up is Doyle. He bats from the left side. So we roll 3 D10s, we read the red, and then we read the white, and then the green is going to tell us the type of out. That's like the modifier die. It's a 0-8, and this is going to be line base hit to right field for Doyle. Now Doyle is an 8 stolen base, and let's see, Bench is a -1, and Nolan is a +1, so they cancel each other out, so it would stay at an 8 in the parentheses. So there goes Doyle, and he is thrown down from Bench, and he is safe with a stolen base. So a single and a stolen base puts Doyle in scoring position for Yaz. Carl Yastrzemski, I believe he's playing first base. Cooper's at, Cooper, I believe, is the first baseman, and Yastrzemski's in left field. Fisk is the catcher, Lynn is the center fielder, Petroselli at third, Evans the right fielder, Burleson the shortstop, and of course Tiant 1 is the pitcher. All right, so Yaz a lefty against Gary Nolan. Gary Nolan gets the sign, looks over at second base, trying to keep Doyle close. And here's the pitch, and that's going to be a 0-6, which is line base hit, and that will bring Doyle home. and the game is tied at 1. Collier Yastrzemski bangs a single to center field, picks up an RBI, and the game is tied 1-1. Yastrzemski has a 10 there, but he will not steal with 8 stolen bases. Just curious how many Doyle had. Doyle only had 5. I normally wouldn't run. I just was having a little bit of fun with the stolen bases early on in the game. I will probably not do that all that often. And it's going to be Yaz at first base with Fisk batting. Here's the pitch. And it's a 44. That will be an out. An 8 is a fly ball right field. And the right fielder, I believe, is Griffey. He's under it. And that is out number 2. We're in the bottom of the first, all tied at 1. Fred Lynn, center fielder, rookie center fielder for the Boston Red Sox, batted .331. 105 RBIs, 21 home runs. So he was really clutch during the course of the season. Played in 145 games. Here's the pitch against Nolan. Nolan with a 1.1 whip, 210 innings pitched, a 15-9 record, and a 3.16 ERA. Here's the pitch to Lynn, with Yaz taking his lead off first base, and that's going to be a 40, and that'll be a deep fly ball to right field. Backing up to the track is Griffey, and he's there, pulls it in, and that retires the side. But the Red Sox pick up a run on 2 hits, and we go to the top of the second. All right, so Tony Perez facing Louis Tiant, playing deep drive baseball, and here's the pitch. It's a 42, and that'll fall within the out range, 32 to 49, and a 9, and that's a high fly center field. Right there is Lynn, 1 away. Next up, stepping in the box, is George Foster, who will have his breakout season in 1977 when he hits 52 home runs. Holy smokes. And he drives in a ton of RBIs. I don't remember exactly how many he drives in, but he does drive in a bunch of RBIs. Here's the pitch from Tiant. It's a 50, and that is trouble. That's a deep drive off of Tiant's card, and that's going to take us to the deep drive chart on George Foster. Now, this is probably one of the most exciting results that you can get in this game. The deep drive chart includes the park effect, and then, of course, the homers and the triples and the doubles and some deep fly balls, which, of course, would serve as sacrifice flies and so on. So we rolled a 4 on the modifier die. For a right-handed batter, that will drop him into the 0 to 7 range of the ballpark. So any ballpark result will result in a home run. So George Foster hits the ball in the direction, the shallowest direction of the ballpark. So he does have that advantage. And here is the roll. He swings and drives it deep, and that's going to be off the top of the wall and into second base with an easy stand-up double. With 1 out here in the top of the second is George Foster. Bench is 2, Morgan's 4, Rose is 5, Concepcion is 6, Geronimo's 8, and Nolan is 1. So up comes Concepcion, Dave Concepcion. Now you can get every player in the seasons that they have. They have 71, 75, I think it's 85, 94, 2001, I believe. Then you have some modern seasons, and then you go in the 60s, they have 61, and then they have, I don't know which 50 season, they have a 40 season, they have a 30 season, and they have a bunch of dead ball seasons as well. So try out the game. All right, here goes Dave Concepcion at the plate. He bats from the right side. Tiant gets the sign. Tiant had a 4.02 ERA, won 18 games, lost 14, 260 innings pitched. So he can go deep. He's got 13 points, and while Nolan has 11. So Tiant can go deeper than Nolan generally, but if it depends on who pitches better really as well. Here's the pitch to Concepcion. That's a 26, and that's a 2 resulted, say, a little number in front of the plate, and Fisk pounces on it, fires to first, and moving to third will be Foster. So that's going to be a G2. You don't get very many of those. And 2 outs now with a runner at third base, and here comes Cesar Geronimo, the lefty. Louis Tiant gets the sign from Fisk. He's ready, sets and deals, and that's an 87 off Tiant's card with a 3, which will be a slow grounder to the third baseman. Petrocelli charges, barehands it, fires the first high throw, but oh, what a stretch by the first baseman, Cooper. And he is out, and that will retire the side. So it's 5-3 if you're scoring at home, which you must. And that's no runs, 1 hit, 1 left, and we go to the bottom of the second. I much rather play when I have all the cards on the table, so I have to move the camera back a little bit to be able to have that. It slows me down tremendously when I have to pick up the cards, put them to the side. So if that's the technique you're using, just letting you know that you'll save a ton of time if everything is just in camera view and you can leave everything on the table and just flip. Here's Rico Petrocelli, steps in the box. He's ready to roll. And Gary Nolan on the mound winds and deals. Here's the pitch, and that is a 0-5. That'll be off Petrocelli, and that'll be line. Base hit to left, played on a hop by the left fielder, George Foster. So it's a single for Petrocelli, and he's not going to be stealing. Dwight Evans is next, and he's a right-handed hitter. He hit 13 home runs in 470 plate appearances, about a 274. Gary Nolan gets a sign from bench. He's ready. Looks over at first. Throws over. Lollipop throw to first base just to send the message that, hey, I know that you're standing there. And here's Evans. He's ready to go. Takes a couple of swings outside the box. Now steps in. He's ready. Nolan sets and deals. And the pitch, it's a 0-0. That's going to be a deep drive off Evans' card with a 9. Evans is a righty. Goes up to 7. So he's outside the ballpark range. So you can view this as him hitting the ball into the deepest part of the park. And here's the roll, and that's going to be a deep drive off the bat of Evans. He hit it well. It's going back, and that's going to be off the base of the wall. Digging for second is going to be Evans now. We had a runner on first, Petrocelli, and he's an average runner. Oh, he's very slow. He will hold up at third base. Not going to try to score with nobody out right now. We're not going to waste doing that. And I play good baseball percentages regardless of what my chance is to score him. I just want, right now there's nobody out. I have second and third, and I'm happy with that. Here's Rick Burleson. He's a 252 hitter, 6 home runs in almost 650 plate appearances. Nolan, he's ready, gets the sign from bench, and the infield is going to be back right now. It's early in the game. The Reds have a machine offensively, so they're going to let a run score. Well, the only issue is that if that runner from second gets to third, we may bring the infield in. We will let the first run score. We just don't want this to be a big inning. Here's the pitch. So that's going to be a 16, and that will be a defensive result. So the defensive result, we will have to look at the defensive chart. And I'm going to bring that up to the camera so you guys can see it. I do have it in a binder. All right. So we're going to roll the 2d10, and we get an 86. 86 takes us to the defensive part. And 80, meaning that it's, well, this is the whole thing is the defensive part, but this is the error, and this is the range. So I should, it would be better if I said it brings us to the range result area or column. That's an 86, and that's going to be a fly ball center field. So in center field is Geronimo, and let's look at Geronimo's number. Geronimo, if he's a 3, he makes the catch, and this should allow a run. So he's a 4, so let's look at that. He is a 4 with an 86, and that is going to be an out, an F8. So let's see what happens with the right here, base advancement, F8, and an average runner, and he's very slow. So an F8, he has the opportunity to tag up. Not if he was going to third, but if he's going home, he does have the opportunity, even being very slow. So we will try to score him. We will grab the choice chart. And let's see if we have it. Here it is. We've got the choice chart. So we're going to roll 2d10, and we get a 14, and he tags up and he makes it home easily. The ball is cut off. So that's a run on a sacrifice fly for the Red Sox. And an RBI for Burleson. Standing at second base, remaining at second base is Evans, so there's one out, and here's Louis Tiant, who has a terrible hitting card. And he will, infield will be back. We're not going to worry about him doing anything. That's a 13. That should be a strikeout, and it is. 2 outs. And here comes the top of the order, Cecil Cooper. Played a lot of DH, but also plays first base, and is a pretty darn good first baseman with a 4. You can see that. All right, Gary Nolan, runner at second base, 2 outs. The Reds trail 2-1, and here's the pitch, and that is a 46. Falls within the out range of the batter. A 6 is a slow grounder to short, charged by Concepcion. He makes the throw to first in time to retire the side. So 1 run on 2 hits, and the Red Sox lead at 2-0. We go to top of the third. Gary Nolan leads it off for the Reds, a 13. That'll be strike 3. Just stands there and takes the fastball, blows it right by him. And P. Rose now, switch hitter, bats from the left side against Tiant, and he started the game with a base on balls, then moved to second on a wild pitch. Here's the pitch, and that's a 77. That'll be a defensive result. So again, we go back to the chart. Going to roll those 2 D10. See what that tells us. That looks like a 99. Holy smokes. And that's going to be trouble. Right fielder. Right fielder is Darrell Evans, and I think he's like a 5. If he's a 5, he'll make that catch down the line into the corner. And on his horse is Evans, and Evans comes up with it. What a catch. And bounces off that short right field fence that they have out there. And that is an out. What a catch by Evans. Never gave up. And here comes Kenny Griffey. Griffey singled, and then was caught stealing. He actually picked up an RBI, drove home Rose, and then tried to stealing second base. Was thrown out by Fisk. Here's a pitch by Tiant. 2 out, nobody on. And that's a 72, which will be a swing and a miss. Got him. Big curveball. And that fools Griffey way out in front. 3 up, 3 down. Easy inning for El Tiante. Go to the bottom of the third now. Denny Doyle. Denny Doyle steps to the plate. Doyle is 1 for 1 with a single and a stolen base in that first inning. Here's the pitch, and that is an 80, which will fall in the out range with a 4. It's slow grounded to short, charged by Burleson. Throw to first in time. 1 away. Carl Yastrzemski, left-handed hitter, pitch from Nolan with a 20, and a 20 is a check swing. They check with the third base umpire, rings him up. He's out of there, and Yastrzemski doesn't like it, and neither do the fans here at Fenway. So he's hearing it from the crowd. The third base umpire is not popular here at Fenway. Carlton Fisk, Nolan, gets the sign, winds and deals, and the pitch is a 93, and that'll fall in the out range, and 8 is a high fly, center field. Geronimo comes over under it, squeezes it, and that retires the side. 3 up and 3 down. We go to the top of the fourth. This game plays extremely fast, by the way. Once you get going, Joe Morgan, and a 77 will be a defensive result, and we get a 73. That's a range again, and it's to the shortstop. That'll be picked up by Burleson, and over to first. Nice play by Burleson, showing off the cannon. And if Burleson's a 3, which I remember him being a 3, that's why I knew what it was. And he is. Johnny Bench now with 1 out, top of the fourth, scores 2-1. Boston, they trail in the series 3-2. That's a 15, and that's ball 4. So Johnny Bench shows some patience and gets himself to first base. A walk's as good as a hit in this game. And next up is Tony Perez. Tiant looks over at Bench, who's not going anywhere. Here's the pitch to Tiant. That's a 32, and that'll be an out. An out is a high fly to right center field. It's both center fielder Lynn and right fielder Evans, and Evans calls him off for out number 2. George Foster's up next. And Foster with 23 home runs, 78 RBIs, and 300 batting average. So slowly but surely, by 75, Foster is really starting to shine. But he does have his breakout season 2 years from now in 1977 when he hits 52 home runs and drives home a ton of runs. Here's Tiant with the wind and the pitch. And that's going to be a 54, which is a deep drive off the bat of Foster with a 9. So it's in the deeper part of the park. And that ball is way back, and that ball is gone. George Foster blasts one to left center field over the Green Monster, and the Reds have taken the lead 3-2 here in the top of the fourth. And the crowd is not happy about that. They are silent at this point. Remember that this is an elimination game for the Red Sox. They need this game. They need to get to Game 7. Big home run by George Foster. And next up, Dave Concepcion. Here's the pitch, and that's a 64, and that's ball 4. So Fisk is going to walk out to talk to El Tiante because he's shaken up just a little bit. Considered that pitch that he threw to Foster to be one of his better pitches, but Foster was all over it. And so Tiant is ready now. He's facing Cesar Geronimo with Concepcion at first base. Let's see his stolen bases. Maybe we can have a little bit more fun here. Yeah, he's a 13. He stole 33, and there he goes. And the throw down is not in time. He is safe with a stolen base. So 2 caught stealing on Fisk and 1 steal against them. So he's still ahead of the game. And it's Geronimo now with a runner in scoring position. Here's the pitch from Tiant with a 93, and that will be a fly ball left field. Shallow racing in is the left fielder, Griffey, and he's there. No, Griffey, is a right fielder. That is Foster in left field. I'm sorry, it's the wrong team. It is Yaz. Yaz is there in left field. He makes the catch. And that retires the side, but the Reds pick up 2 big runs on a couple of walks and a home run, and they lead it by a score of 3-2. Bottom of the fourth. Fred Lynn, Petrocelli, and Evans pitch from Nolan, 82, and that'll be an out with a 7. Is a high fly right field. Right there is Griffey, out number 1. Petrocelli's next, the pitch, and a 69. And that will be an outrage. 5 is bounced to second base. Morgan over to first, 2 down. And Dwight Evans, here's the pitch. It's a 52. That's going to be a deep drive with an 8. Righty is still too high for the ballpark, so it's the deepest part of the ballpark, but it's hit well, and it's going to be off the wall and takes a unusual carom away from the center fielder. Geronimo digging for third is Evans, and he will be safe with a triple, a 2-out triple for Darrell Evans. 2 out. Runner at third, 90 feet away, the tying run, 3-2 Reds. A big home run, a big 2-run home run by Foster, put the Reds up 3-2. And now it's Burleson, and they are going to intentionally walk Burleson to pitch to Tiant. And we're going to keep Tiant in the game and let him bat, which is, what are we going to do? We don't have a good bullpen. A 70 will fall within an out range, and it's a bouncer, weak bouncer to the first baseman. And that is Perez, makes the catch, and that ends the inning. 1 run, a couple of left on base. No runs, 1 hit, a couple of left on base. We go to top of the 5th. And Gary Nolan will lead it off against Louis Tiant. 3-2 Reds. It's a 35, and that'll be a check swing, and he went around. Umpire calls him out. Nolan knows he went too far. Next up is Pete Rose. The pitch from Tiant, 76, and that's going to be a defensive range. Well, now we don't know. It's going to be a defense, and we'll see if it's a range. No, it's an error check. 42 on the right fielder. The right fielder, if we're up in, that means it's 5. He's a 5. He will make a nice running catch into the corner. It's an F9, 2 outs now. And here comes Griffey. Tiant. Tiant with the wine and deals a 0-9. That is line base hit up the middle. Hard hit ball. One hopper past the diving shortstop Burleson into center field. So it's a single for Griffey. Griffey stole 16 bases. He won't be running right now. Here's Joe Morgan. Steps in the box. He's ready. Bats from the left side with that unusual little snap of the elbow. And Tiant looks over at first, throws over, keeping Griffey close. Morgan's ready. Tiant is ready. And here's a pitch. And that is a 26, which will fall in. Ball 4. And that puts two runners on, and first and second here with 2 outs. So Luis Tiant is working his way into some trouble. Next up is Johnny Bench. And let me get a quick drink. Johnny Bench, who hit 28 home runs, drove in 110 RBIs with a 283 batting average, a 360 on base percentage for Bench. And here's the pitch, and that's a 0-1. That's going to be a deep drive chart with a 4, so that's to the shallowest part of the ballpark. And that ball is hit deep, and 70 is going to be off the wall. And playing it is the center fielder Lynn. Coming around to score is Griffey, and Morgan right behind him. And the Reds have broken it open a little bit here. They now lead it by a score of 4-2. Johnny Bench with a huge clutch 2-out double here in the top of the 5th. And the pitching coach is going to go out to visit Tiant. Remember, Tiant pitches deep into games. He's got a 13. He's only in the 5th inning. Struggling a little bit after getting the 2 quick outs here in the top of the 5th. Allowed a single, a walk, and now a double off the bat of Johnny Bench. Next up is Tony Perez. Perez gets in there, and here's the pitch from Tiant with a 35, and that'll be a line drive and caught by the second baseman Doyle to end the inning. But the damage is done. 2 runs on 2 hits and a walk, and the Reds now lead it 4-2. Remember, this is elimination. Deep drive, 1975 replay of the World Series. And Cecil Cooper leads off against Gary Nolan. Gary Nolan is been pitching pretty well. Now, he did get into a little trouble in the bottom of the 4th. He allowed a triple and then an intentional walk so they could get to the pitcher. And here's Cecil Cooper, left-handed hitter with a 38. Now will be an out. That's ripped and caught by the third baseman, L5. So Rose at the right place at the right time. Hit on the screws. It was a scorcher, a BB at Rose, but Rose was in perfect position to grab it, to snag it out of the air. Superhuman, cat-like reflexes by Rose. Denny Doyle, left-handed hitter, and that's going to be a 17, which will fall into defensive range. Again, it's a 23, so that's in the error column, or super column. Then, of course, you have minor columns. So that's a 23. That takes us to the first baseman. No, that passes the first baseman to the second baseman. And Morgan is a good second baseman, so with a 23, he'll make that catch. Now, there's no way Morgan's going to be less than a 3. There's just no way. He's a 4, actually, so he's the higher the better. So he will make that play easily. That's 2 outs. And here comes Yastrzemski. And that's a 99, and a 99 with runners on. That would be a possible pass ball, but with nobody on, it's going to be an out. What kind of an out is a 6, and that's bounced to short. Easy play by the shortstop, Concepcion, for out number 3. So 3 up and 3 down. We go to the top of the 6th. George Foster leads us off. Actually, no. Yep. It is George Foster leads us off here in the top of the 6th. Luis Tiant is still on the mound for the Red Sox. Here's the pitch, and that's a 66, it looks like, and it's a Swing and a miss. Foster chases a high fastball, and he goes down on strikes. Heads back to the bench with the bat on his shoulder. Dave Concepcion, he's ready, the shortstop. Excellent fielding shortstop with a pretty good bat. Bangs a ground ball, and that's past the diving third baseman Petrocelli into left. Concepcion had 33 stolen bases. Does he have one in this game? Yes, he does. There he goes again, and he is a 13. That's a 9. He is safe. Second stolen base of the game for Concepcion. Geronimo with one out here in the top of the sixth. He's ready. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a 61, which is a line drive base hit left field, and we're going to stop with that with no plus sign, so we will hold Concepcion at third base. Hit too hard, and Concepcion with one out had to wait to see if that ball was going to get caught, so he hesitated, and he will pull up at third base, first and third now. So again, Tiant is struggling. Infield's going to be in here. Here's the pitch by Tiant. That's going to be a 15, and that's strike 3. Nolan down on strikes the third time Nolan is struck out. Tiant has 2 strikeouts in this inning, 2 outs, 2 on. And here is the always dangerous Charlie Hustle. 764 plate appearances, 7 home runs, 74 RBI. Stolen bases 0, 317 batting average with a 406 on base percentage. The Reds lead it 4-2. 2 men on, 2 out. So this is a huge batter for Tiant and for the Red Sox. You don't want the Reds to tack on any more runs at this point. Here's the pitch, and it's a 59, and that's going to be trouble. That's line base hit center field. 1 run scores, 2 runs score, and no, there was a runner on first, so he will stop at third base. Excuse me, I thought there was second and third. So it's an RBI single for Rose, and that puts runners on first and third, and up comes Griffey, and out comes the manager. Ouch. Trouble. So we're going to look at hold on a second. Let's get an idea of who can, I will tell you right now who we're going to use in the bullpen. Come on now. So who did they use? Actually, the Reds used 10 pitchers almost. The Red Sox only used 3. They have mostly Roger Moret and Drago and Wise. So that's who they're going to bring in. Who's batting? It's a lefty. So we're going to go to the lefty Moret, and hopefully Moret can get us out of this inning. But we don't have a great bullpen. Moret had a 3.60 ERA, 14-3. That's a good one-loss percentage, but a 1.4 WHIP. So he's the lefty. Now, if he had for splits, if Griffey was a guy who did not hit lefties well, he would have a lefty circled, and of course the pitcher would have an advantage over the batter. But since Griffey, a left-handed hitter, holds his own against lefties, the pitcher will not have a now, if I had a pitcher that had a circle, a lefty pitcher with a circle, and I don't think I do, that's a lefty pitcher that's a specialist against lefty batters. I don't know that I do, and I don't know that anybody like that was available in the in the World Series for the Red Sox. All right, so here is a lefty versus lefties, 2 southpaws facing each other. Ken Griffey on the mound with runners on first and third, 2 outs. The score 5-2 Reds now. And a huge batter for Moret. Here's the pitch, and that's a 56, which will be a ground ball up the middle. That's through for a base hit. Stopping at second base is Rose. Scoring will be Geronimo. Its score is now 6-2. And an RBI single for Ken Griffey. And runners on first and second. Actually, Rose, I would have to roll for him, and I don't want to have to roll for him. He's going to hold up. There's no reason to advance right now. He's in scoring position, first and second. 4 hits in this inning for the Reds, and up comes Joe Morgan. Joe Morgan with a 327 batting average. Here's another lefty. Here's the pitch from Murray with a 55, and that's line. Base hit. One run comes around, and going to third is Griffey. The third run of the inning, RBI single for Morgan. Runners on first and third. And Morgan had how many stolen bases? And Murray is actually a 0, so how many stolen bases for 67? There he goes, and the throw down, and he is safe. So a stolen base for Morgan puts runners on second and third for Johnny Bench. Johnny Bench already has a 2-run double. So the Red Sox are falling deeper and deeper into the pit. They now trail 7-2 here in the top of the 6th, and the crowd is silent at Fenway Park. Yes, here's Johnny Bench. Now I'm thinking, do we walk Johnny Bench to face Perez, who's made 3 outs? We are going to intentionally walk Bench to face Perez, and it's Perez the righty, but Perez has struggled. Here's the pitch. And that's an 87. That'll be out number 3. That's a high fly left field. Back goes Petrocelli and Burleson. In comes the left fielder, Yastrzemski, and it's Yastrzemski makes the call and makes the catch. But that was the Reds send 9 batters to the plate. Yes, sirree. They score 3 runs on a ton of hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits and an intentional walk. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Carlton Fisk leads off for the Red Sox. Here's the pitch from Nolan with an 88. That'll be an easy out. A 1 is pop foul, and that will be an 8. Will be I do even is the catcher. Foul territory by the dugout, and that is Bench makes the catch. FO2. Lynn is up next. And that's going to be a 10, and that's line. Base hit, ripped to right. Played on a hop by the right fielder, Griffey. Lynn is on at first. We need base runners right now, so we're not doing anything. We're going station to station. Here's the pitch, and that's a 0-8, and that's a little Texas leaguer over the head of the shortstop. Concepcion drops in left center field, and that's going to be runners on first and second now for the Red Sox. So the Red Sox, with nobody out, 1 out and 2 men on, have a little something going here, have a little threat going. Next up is Evans. Evans hit 13 home runs, so he has a little bit of power in 128 games. Batted .274 with a .350 on-base percentage. So Nolan gets the sign from Bench. He's ready. Here's the pitch, and that's a 22, and that'll be a swing and a miss. Got him with the curve for out number 2. Back to the bench goes Evans, not happy with himself. Next up is Burleson, 2 men on, 2 out. A pitch by Nolan, and a 0-0. That's going to take us to the deep drive chart. Now, there are no home runs there for Burleson. He hit 6, so he can get the park effect. Let's see, we got it is a 2, so he does get the park effect home run. So there is a chance. Otherwise, it's most likely going to be a double. And that's a deep drive off the bat of Burleson, and that will be down the line into the corner, and that's going to be at least 2. 1 run comes in. Petrocelli will stop at third, and it's going to be second and third RBI double for Burleson. That brings up Tiant, but we will see a pinch hitter. So 2 out, 2 on, and a pinch hitter is going to be called by the Red Sox. Gary Nolan is a righty, so we will call on, who have we been using as a pinch hitter? Let's see. We got Doug Griffin, he's a righty. Beniquez is a righty. We did have a lefty, Bernie Carbo has been used as a pinch hitter, and he will be called on here. It's a big opportunity for Carbo. So Carbo comes into pinch hit in the bottom of the 6th with 2 men on, and the score now is 7-3. So the man on deck would be the tying run. A 3-run homer here would bring the Red Sox within 1 run. All right, Carbo to the plate against Nolan. 2 men on, 2 out. Here's the pitch. Deep drive. Can we get it? 99. Ooh, that may be a pass ball on bench. Let's look at bench. Bench has a pass ball. Let's see. Ooh, no pass balls on bench. No pass balls on bench, from what I understand. I can't remember what that means. Hold on, I gotta look that up. Is that an automatic pass ball or is that no pass ball? So let's. That doesn't make sense. That's no pass ball. He must have had at least one pass ball. Okay, so I just found out that Johnny Bench had 0 pass balls in 1975, a catcher, which is pretty astonishing to me. So there's no pass ball there. It'll be a 99, and there's really the rules say that you're supposed to roll first to see if there's a possible, they call it a on-base event. I don't do it that way, so I'm just heads up on that. So it's going to be actually, is that a 999? That's supposed to be a rare play. Now I don't use rare plays simply because it's a whole real thick packet, and I never printed those out, and I don't want to go through that right now. I just play it straight up and easy, laid back. So it will be a 9 on. Let me see. Carbo is up, so it'll be a 9 on shallow fly ball center field. Racing in as Geronimo slides and makes the catch. What a catch by Cesar Geronimo! That ends the inning. And but the Red Sox do pick up a run. It is 7-3 now. We go to the top of the 7th inning, and Morey's still in there. He will be facing George Foster. Here's the pitch, and that's a 94, which will be a 6, and it's a hard hit ball. One hop to the shortstop, Burleson. He's up with it, fires a strike to first, and that is out number 1. Next up is Concepcion. Morey swing. He winds and deals, and the swing by Concepcion with a 24, and that'll be a hard hit ball to the shortstop. Burleson again with a nice play, and a strike to first base, 2 away. So Burleson's being tested out there. Next up is Geronimo, lefty on lefty with a 48. That'll be off Geronimo's card, a 6, and that's a medium ground ball. High hopper to the shortstop. Burleson charges it, throws to first, and that retires the side. So that is no runs, no hits, 3 up, 3 down, and Burleson gets all 3 putouts. Or assists, excuse me. Top of the order now for the Boston Red Sox. Nolan is still in there. Nolan is still good. He's got 6. He's given up a run. That's 7. He's gone 3. That's 10. So that is 10. So he's got at least 1 more. And then after that, he'll be fatigued. So it will be Cecil Cooper leading off. And here's the pitch with a 73, which will be a bouncer to third. Rose over to first, 1 away. Doyle is next. Danny Doyle bats from the left side. Doyle today is 1 for 3 with a single and a stolen base. That's a 0-2. That's going to be off his deep drive chart, and he does have that ballpark advantage. He did have 4 home runs, and that's going to be an 89, and 89 is a deep fly ball, not a ballpark. It's a deep fly ball to right field. Backing up to the track is Griffey, and he makes the catch. So Doyle gave it a ride off his deep drive chart, and that's 2 away. Next up against Nolan will be Yastrzemski, left-handed batter, in the swing of 56. That's line base hit to right. He rips one, sends a laser to right field, and played on a hop by Griffey. Gets it in. Yastrzemski's on with a 2-out single. Next up is Carlton Fisk. The pitch by Nolan, and that's going to be an 87 with a 9. That's a shallow fly ball, center field. Racing in is Geronimo, and Geronimo, nice sliding catch to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left, top of the 8th. Here we come. And it's going to be Gary Nolan, and we're going to bring in a pinch hitter here in the top of the 8th. Who's it going to be? That's the question. And then let's go back on this. Who's it going to be? Pinch hitter. All right, so we got a lefty. We're going to try to bring a righty in there. Now, he can go 2. He's gone 2. Moray. All right, let's see. Moray came in. Against the lefty Griffey. So he is tired. He is tired. And he came in the top of the 6th. So we're going to pinch hit for we're going to bring pinch hit for Nolan. We're going to have to bring in a new pitcher for Moray. And so let's pinch hit for Nolan here with Crowley, Armbruster. I got a bunch of guys. Dreesen. We don't know who they're going to call, so let's bring in a pitcher first. It's going to be Drago. I think Drago's coming in to pitch. So Drago will come in the top of the 8th. So they're going to call on Dan Dreesen. Dan Dreesen, I'll tell you a little bit about Dan Dreesen. Chicago's Chet Lemon. All right, let's see where we can find it. You get all the players, but you do have to go into the last team they played with. You do have to do that, and it's a little bit of a drag because if you print them out in color, then all of a sudden, if the guy played on a blue team where the team color is blue, then you have a blue card. But I don't care about that. Dan Dreesen will bat for the pitcher Nolan. And here goes against the righty Drago. Here's the pitch. And you see Dreesen does have the circles. So if I brought in a lefty, the lefty pitcher would have an advantage. But I don't have that many pitchers for Boston. 87, that'll be off Drago, and a 9 will be a fly. High fly, center field for out number 1. Top of the order now for the Reds will be Pete Rose. This time he bats from the left side. Well, he was batting from the left side all game because Tiant is also a righty. That's a 55, and that's going to be ripped to center, base hit. So that is a laser beam to center field. A rope played on a hop by the center fielder Lynn. And Griffey now. We could try hit and run. There he goes, and that's a 51. That's going to be a deep drive on a hit and run. Now, I just wanted to do that to give you guys a little look at the hit and run. So that's bunting. Where's the hit and running? Let's see. It's choice chart. Do I have a hit and run chart anywhere? Should have it here somewhere. Let's see. I have all the charts somewhere here. All right, hit and run chart on a deep drive. Roll again on the batter's deep drive section. On a double, all runners score. On a deep fly ball, the lead runner is doubled up. Let's see what happens. So on a deep drive chart, again, Reds, the big red machine, making the Boston pitching staff pay. So it's a 3. So it is. He is a lefty. It's 0-7. So he does have the ballpark advantage, and that's a deep drive. And that's going to be off the top of the wall. Coming around to score will be Rose, and into third base with a stand-up triple is Ken Griffey. That is Ken Griffey's 4th hit of the day. So he is putting on a clinic here at Fenway Park. Picks up an RBI. That's his 3rd RBI of the day and has 4 hits, 3 singles, and now a triple. And the Red Sox are going to bring the infield in for Joe Morgan. Drago gets the sign from Fisk. He's ready. Here is the pitch. And that's a 92, and it's a 2, which is a tapper right back to the mound. Holding his spot at first base will be... Well, actually, in this result, I think he's out at the plate. I think he's out at the plate with the infield in, from what I remember. Let's take a look at that very quickly here. The infield in, I don't have it there. I have several places where I have the information. Don't play this every day. So the infield in is going to be playing infield in. So a G, which this is a G result. And let's see, playing infield in, lineouts are hits. Let me see, infield in, a G, infield in, come on. Strategy 2 outs, double, okay, slow and hard ground outs result in a runner on third holding unless the bases are loaded, in which case they are thrown out at the plate on a fielder's choice. Normal ground outs result in a runner on third being thrown out at the plate. Okay, so he is thrown out at the plate by the pitcher. Quick flip to the catcher. The catcher Fisk tags him out, so he is out at home on a fielder's choice. 1-2. Oh, and that'll end the inning. Actually, then they would have just picked it up, and he would have won 1-3. 2 outs. So, oh no, actually that was the second out. Excuse me. So that is a fielder's choice. Where's my whiteout? I had written it down, and then I realized I was making an error. So it is a fielder's choice. Morgan is on at first. 1 run is in, so it's 8-3, and bench is up. And here's the pitch. Drago to bench with a 41, which will be a fly ball deep left field. Backing up is the left fielder Yastrzemski to the track and makes the catch. That retires the side. But again, the Reds come up with a run on 2 hits. And we go to bottom of the 8th. Who leads off the bottom of the 8th? It will be Freddie Lynn. Freddie Lynn is ready. Freddie Lynn today is 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. Oh, wait, we need a new pitcher. We do need a new pitcher. Hold on a second. So we will bring in, what's his name? Bourbon. Bourbon will pitch bottom of the 8th. Pedro Bourbon. There he is. Against Friendlin. The pitch, and that's a 95 with a 2, and that's a hard hit ball right back to the mound. Nice play by Bourbon over to first, 1 away. Petrocelli's up next. Petrocelli today is 2 for 3. 2 singles. Here's a pitch, and that's a 50. That's going to be a deep drive with a 1, which is a shallowest part of the park, and that ball is a drive down the line into the corner, and that's off the wall. That's going to go for at least 2, and pulling up into second base ahead of the throw is Petrocelli, a 1-out double. Next up is Darrell Evans, pitched by Bourbon with a 22, and that's strike 3. Got him. Big out for Bourbon, 2 away. Next is Burleson, 28, and a 2 is a tapper, slow tapper right to the mound. Bourbon off the mound, picks it up over to first, and in time to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left, and we go to the top of the 9th. Perez against Dick Drago. Here is the pitch, and that is an 88, which will be an out. It'll be a tapper back to Drago, over to first, 1 down. Next up is Foster. Pitch by Drago, 98, and a 5 is a hard hit ball up the middle, and a diving play by Burleson over to first, and in time. What a play by Rick Burleson, the Rooster, known as AKA the Rooster. All right, Dave Concepcion. Concepcion today is 1 for 3, 2 stolen bases and a walk. Here's the pitch, and that's a 37. Will fall in the out range of Concepcion with a pop up to the middle infield. 1-2-3. It's a shortstop. It's a 4, so it's the second base. There we go, and that retires the side. 3 up and 3 down, and the Red Sox are down to their last 3 outs in the 1975 World Series. See what they can do. They trail by a bunch. They trail 8-3. The Reds had 1 in the first, 2 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 3 in the sixth, and 1 in the 8th. And that's hold on, that's 9. Let me double check. They got 3 there, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9-3, not 8-3, but 9-3. Holy smokes! That's a lot of runs. They're down 6 runs here in the bottom of the ninth. They're going to bring up a pinch hitter. And against a righty Bourbon, we're going to look for a lefty. Let's see who we got. See if we have any lefties. Oh, Rick Miller. He is a lefty, so he will come up to hit. Rick Miller. Used him before in this. Alright, let's see if we can find his card. I had him here before. Rick Miller. Oh, Tiant actually had a batting card. Because I was using the, okay, here it is. Here's Rick Miller. Rick Miller. And he will pinch hit here in the 9th slot. And here's the pitch from Bourbon with a 48, and that's in the out range 0, and that's lined and caught by Morgan. L4, out number 1. So the Red Sox are down to the last 2 outs. They're 2 outs away from an elimination in the World Series. Here's Cecil Cooper with an 84, and that will fall in the out range of Pedro Bourbon with a 5. Hard hit ball in the hole, long throw by Concepcion, and on the money to Tony Perez for out number 2. So they are 1 out from taking Game 6 here in Fenway. The Reds, who were down 2-0, won 3 in Cincinnati, and now they're just an out away, up by 6 runs. Nobody on base for the Red Sox, and it's all in the hands of Denny Doyle. Denny Doyle batted .298. .298. Denny Doyle never, and he's a terrible second baseman, by the way, with a 1. That's probably any worse than that would be a 0, and that would be terrible. He played in 97 games, 353 at bats, 4 home runs, 5 stolen bases, batted .298. So they're gonna let him bat. And here's the pitch from Bourbon. That's gonna be a 59. That's a hard hit ground ball past the diving first baseman, past Perez into right field. So. The Red Sox hang on for 1 more out. Let's see what happens. Runner on first, 2 outs, and it's Carl Yastrzemski. Yastrzemski today is 2 for 4 with 2 singles. And here's the pitch, and that's going to be a 38, and that's going to do it. This is a hard hit ground ball to the second baseman Morgan, who flips to Concepcion for the force, and that is the ball game. And the crowd is silent here at Fenway. And the Red Sox celebrate in the middle of the field, and that's the completion of my replay for the 1975 World Series using deep drive. So now I have to start some sort of plan for what I'm going to do. What kind of replay am I going to do with deep drive for 1975? I got to look over the schedules, look over the teams, see the races, see what, I'd like to have a close race in one of the divisions, see what happens. So the win is going to go to Nolan here. Nolan went 7 innings, allowed 3 runs. 3 runs on how many hits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's look at the score sheet. And let's clean this up. So that was a blast. This is a fun game. You get a lot of good games. This one wasn't that close, but you do get a lot of good games out of deep drive baseball. So let's see, a lot of hits in this game. So it took a while. So let's see how many hits did Nolan give up. 2 in the first, 2 in the second. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 hits. Gave up 9 hits and 3 runs, all earned. And how many walks? None there. 1 there, an intentional walk. So only an intentional walk. So we'll put 0, and then we'll put a 1. Or we actually could have put a 0 and a 1. It doesn't matter. Okay, so and then strikeouts. You had 2, 3 strikeouts. Allowed any home runs? Wait a second. Nolan. Yeah. That's Nolan. No, he did not allow any home runs. Now Tiant struggled. Tiant went 5 2/3, 5.2. He gave up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. How many runs? Oh boy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 runs. Holy smokes. They were all earned runs. There was a two-base, I think there was a two-base error at some point by somebody. I don't remember who made the two-base error. I thought there was a two-base error. Well, I don't see it. I don't know if it was this game or a different game. I was pretty sure there was a two-base error on somebody, but maybe it could have been another game. Played a couple of games today. All right, so then what else are we looking for? Tiant. Base on balls for Tiant. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 base on balls for Tiant. Strikeouts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 strikeouts. Home runs, he allowed 1 to Foster, and that's it. 1 home run. He will take the loss, unfortunately. The win goes to Nolan. So the Reds are world champs. World champs. Oh, that's an O. And that is it for the 1975 replay. And that's going to be it, my friends. I guess the MVP of the series, and I would have to look at all the score sheets, because the last time I played this game was 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I couldn't even find the score sheets. I have them somewhere. They're not far away. I'll find them and I'll put them in the book. And that's about it, guys. So thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe my channel. I got so much stuff, so much informational stuff on games and on hacks and on mods. Check out my videos on Fall Classic, on Field Day, which usually Sundays is my Field Day game, where I'll be playing Field Day all day long. I could easily get 5 or 6 games in at 20 minutes apiece. Probably out of all the games I play, other than APA Basic, I think that Field Day plays the fastest. Literally 95% of all results are off the batter card, even though there's a pitcher interaction on a lot of those results. Don't think it's just one-sided, right? Could be a misconception. I want to, I don't want that to happen. I want to prevent that from happening. So know that the pitcher has a lot to do. Check out my tutorials and a lot of my games. When I start introducing it on my channel, I spend I spend extra time really explaining the nuances of the game and how I approach certain things, and also how I approach it to make it more playable and to move and so forth. So anyway, that's it, and I will see and talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. This is Tony Porter signing out. 1975 World Series champs, the Reds, and they had a crazy win here, 9-3 over the Red Sox at Fenway, and I will see you guys soon. Bye now.